Hello everyone. So this is a video that Mrs. Brown asked me to do for you because at the minute you can't come into church. So she asked me if I would come in and just show you around our church, the church that you all use when you come into worship for Christmas and Easter and harvest. And so you may have already been in here, but I'm going to just walk through the church and let you see what there is in it. So when we walk through the door, one of the first things we see, a great big stone object, is our font. Now the font is where people are baptised or christened when they become members of the church. And usually this happens when the person is a baby and they are held over the water, and the priest will sprinkle water and baptise them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. So in name of the Trinity. And your school is named Holy Trinity, so that is when we remember God, Father, Son and Holy Spirit. So this is looking round this part of our church, which is called the nave. You'll see we've got lots and lots and lots of windows, and it makes it a really bright, airy space. And the nave is a name for the area where the main body of the congregation, where most of the people will sit when they come to worship. Now, our church here is so big that we don't have all the chairs out, only when we need them out for special services, and then we bring our chairs out. And at the moment it's set up for our tea bar when we have the church open for visitors, which hopefully we'll be able to soon. Now, looking here, we do have an altar, which we sometimes use when we've got a big service in this part of the church. But if you look above the altar, you'll see all that lovely stonework, and then you'll see the pipes. Now, these are the pipes of the organ. And the organist sits just at the side of the pipes on one side and plays the organ, and the sound comes out of the pipes and fills the whole area of our church. So I'm going to walk up and we're going to head towards another area of our church, and this is the area where we have our services on a Sunday. But you'll also see that we have altars at the side. Now that altar is the altar for our Royal British Legion, and you'll see the poppies on the altar. So we remember all the members of our Royal British Legion and who we think about especially at Remembrance Day. Now on that side, there is a side altar, but through that door, there is another little chapel, and that's called the Lady Chapel. That's a very small chapel with another altar, where a few of us go when we just want to worship and pray, just privately. So I'm going to walk through now into what we call the chancel. And if you think this looks like a church within the church, well, this is the chancel. This is what would be if the church was fully open using the nave that we've just been through. This would be the place where the choir and the priests and all the ministers would sit. But if you can see, this is now laid out to be our church. So this is the area where we come on a Sunday, or when we've got a baptism or a wedding or sometimes a funeral, where we come to worship together. Now you'll notice there's a dark wooden stand there. Now that's called the pulpit. And this is where the person who is going to teach from the Bible, their understanding of what's been said, that's where they sometimes stand. And you can see how well the engraving is on there. It looks so beautiful, doesn't it? So intricate. And the person will stand there and will speak their way of what they've thought the message of the Bible is saying to them that day. And then here, this is our sanctuary. This is the holy place. This is where the priest and the ministers will go, especially when we have our communion service, and they will stand at the altar. So that long table is the altar with that sign of the cross behind it. And look at that stained glass window. When you get to come into church for yourself, come and spend some time just looking at the different pictures on our stained glass window. It's amazing, isn't it? It really is. This is our lectern, and that's where the person who's reading from the Bible stands. And here sometimes is where the person who's leading the service sits. And then when we're here, when the priest or the minister is here, and we look round, we can see everybody in our congregation. And up there, that's the organ loft. If you remember seeing the pipes from the other side, well, that's this side of the organ loft. Now it's got that polythene screen on because we don't want the bats coming in this part of the church. So that's our church, and hopefully we will all be together, you and me and everybody else in the school can come together and worship together. And I hope to see you soon, and I hope that you found that informative, and have a chat about it now. Take care, God bless, bye-bye.